Hey there, it's John, the Eagle Eye Picker. This is a really great pick, a house packed full of vintage and antique items. The gentleman who lived here was a landscape designer. A lot of books, a lot of drafting tables, supplies, plotters, tech stuff, but there was glassware, games, toys, you name it. And I also found this briefcase full of drafting supplies. Stick around to the end and I go through it with you and I run a tally of how much I'm going to make just on the items I picked up in that briefcase.
As you can see in that first room on the left, it was full of glass, a lot of glassware. I got in there probably 30 minutes later, and a lot of people were standing on that right-hand side when I walked in at the cash register, and a lot of stuff was on the whole table, a lot of really nice stuff. Of course, that's off limits to everyone else. This first room I go into here on the left, a lot of purses, different items like that, a couple glass cases. I always look through glasses, look for aviator type glasses. There's a lot of interesting toys here. They were priced pretty well, I thought. Some games, as you can see on the bottom shelf. I saw a little VW Beetle plastic toy sticking at the bottom there. So as you can see, I put that back and I looked through some of the boxes. Find some other really neat items. Here's just a box of miscellaneous toys. I'm kind of doing a quick rush through here. I'm not, unless I see something immediately I want to grab, I'll pick it up and put it in my bag. But I'm trying to scan through as I just walked in the house, and I want to make sure I know the lay of the land and I check out all the rooms. I go across the hallway. This room is really crowded. It's so crowded, in fact, I decided to, and this is actually in the hallway, what you see on your left there on the bookshelf. It was actually so crowded, I decided to make my way to the next room. This dictionary this gentleman's showing me right here is huge. Look how thick that thing is. Didn't bother to look it up. That's a huge kind of, it was a big item to try and sell. So I'm taking a look around. Vintage Singer sewing machines are something I run across frequently. Estate sales. I'm always looking through pencil holders, anything people have pens and pencils stored in, to see if there's any unique brands or styles. If you watch my videos, you know, cross pens, Schaefer pens, Mont Blanc, whatever I find that's high end, I love to pick up. I was wondering about this keyboard. I did not get it. I came back in the room and it was gone. I don't know if I should have picked it up then or if it was worth picking up at all, but somebody got it. Back in the corner, every little nick and cranny had something in it. Little boxes had something inside of them. You had to do a lot of opening and investigating to figure out what all was in here. I think this house had about 8 rooms, so it was packed full of people and packed full of merchandise. So it was going to take a lot of work to get through all of this. I opened that up. Those are some Parcheesi marbles and some guitar picks. I continue to dig around. It's a little bank. It's just glass. It looks like you put the money in the bottom, which is kind of unusual for me, and there's a lock on top of it. I decided to grab this. I've never seen one before. It's kind of unique. I don't think they sell for very much, but I thought it would be something really cool to pick up. Had I known at the end of this sale that I was only going to be charged $20 for everything I pick up, including the briefcase I showed in the intro, I would have probably picked up a lot more items. But you never really know till you get to a cash register at some of these places when things aren't labeled, priced. So I was a little bit cautious about what I was picking up. There's a Colts nail clipper. You might have saw the old typewriter, IBM typewriter on the right. This is some of the ribbons and accessories for that. And then some other items. I tend to run into IBM stuff a lot in the area that I live in. Some of it can be very collectible, especially some of the marketing items, and I'm always on the lookout for that. I don't find any at this estate sale. I think that was the owner's nameplate. What drew me to it was the wood was very nice, but it was actually really heavy when I picked it up, so I think the plate was absolutely full bronze. Over this next table, nothing but paper items, envelopes, newspaper, clippings. We'll get more into that and photographs in a minute. Address book there, metal. I checked that out. There was a letter opener. The case seemed very nice and leather, but the letter opener itself wasn't really anything special. I make my way to this drawer, and this drawer is absolutely packed. I don't think anyone's gone through it. Of course, I'm looking at for pens, pencils, other small items that might have value.
Depends on which one it is.
Yeah, I keep moving and shuffling things around. I'm not seeing too much yet. I do run across a couple writing instruments that I'll pick up out of this drawer. No notable brands, just some good items that I think will resell. The density of stuff inside this drawer is kind of representative of this whole house, and there was no room to walk around. I think I discovered that there's no bedrooms as I looked back at this, and I think the gentleman had this house and was completely just storing stuff in it. There were cameras, security cameras outside that looked like they were more modern, so no one broke in. But clearly no one was living in the house, and it hadn't been lived in for many years. And there you can see there's the writing utensils that I pick up. You just never know what you're going to find in drawers like this, so I'm always very cautious and look. I found some very expensive small items when I do this, so I always want to make sure I look through them. We're going to get back over to the other side where I was showing the envelopes and stuff. There's also more envelopes. They have stamps on them, all kinds of paperwork that's antique or vintage. You can see some of the stamps on here are very old. Here's some photos. I know a lot of people buy these photos. These are ladies, brides, people who do stuff with these. I don't deal in old photos, but I know some can be quite valuable. And there's people that come in and they will just buy them all. Nothing really stuck out to me as something I would purchase, but I really enjoy looking at this. And yeah, I just know somebody's going to run across that suitcase and just buy the whole thing. Old records, Victor records, I feel like I see those at most. Older kind of estate sales. Tons of books, as I've said before. These cases down here, there's a little card catalog. Or index card catalog. There was nothing in the containers down there. I picked them up and they were empty. Again, lots of books. Some Time magazines. I think I come back and pick up one of the Time magazines and add it to what we purchased. The thing about vintage books is They don't have barcodes, so you can't really scan to understand any kind of value. So you really have to know your books when you get to ones that don't have, you know, they're not easily scannable. You have to kind of do it one by one. Here's an old razor. I didn't get that. There's a lot of people that collect those though. I'm sure somebody will pick that up. There was someone in the way of the left drawers over here, so I go back really quick to take a look in there, and sure enough, there are some writing instruments and office supplies in there, but it is pretty much modern stuff. Those were just tabs for file folders. A lot of people get these unused pencils and resell them. I know that in original packaging they can be worth good resale value. There was a bookshelf down below this sewing machine. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything back there. Mostly books. Gonna try this line you see here to my right and to my left is literally the checkout line. So we're over halfway through the house and the line goes through. The line is already that far backed up. Here's another room that was a kitchen at some point in time. Still a kitchen, but it wasn't really in use. Tons of utensils. As you can see, bowls full, jars full. A lot of stuff's pulled out of drawers, but then I open the drawers and the drawers are full too. I'm looking for nice vintage knives. Always on the lookout for Cutco and other Damascus kind of bladed knives. You can see this white handle to the right. It's a Corningware handle. I do end up picking that up. And now I just peek over to the pantry. Absolutely tons of cookbooks. There's actually another shelf of cookbooks in another room. If you see anything I missed in here, be sure to leave some comments. I'd love to hear it. I'm making my way out of the kitchen room. I'm going to go across the hallway. This is the room I saw on some of the pictures of the estate sale, and I wanted to go into. This is where I was hoping to find drafting supplies. I looked through the drawers. There's lots of landscaping plans inside of those in vellum. Looking through this metal box, hoping to find maybe some more tools or instruments. There wasn't much in there. So I go through some of the drawers. Lots of landscaping plans, as you can see. Bottom drawer wouldn't open, so I couldn't get through there. Then I managed to go in the drawers. There's a lot of people that collect paper. This is like a vintage pack of paper. It's kind of textured. I don't know the exact term for what it's called, but vintage paper is very collectible, and a lot of people pick that up. Here's another drawer full of paperwork. Sometimes I look at a newspaper and try to get a point of reference for the date that the person might have had items from, what year. All these boxes are full of books, and you'll see the rest of the shelves in this room, including the closet, are just packed full of books. Open the other drawer. Very nice to see a tray of pencils. Of course, I'm hoping to find some mechanical pencils or pens. Find some old-fashioned roller erasers. Here's a lot of maps in the front, fold out maps. I don't know how collectible those are, but I do see those for sale quite often at estate sales. This is some kind of seal or stamp. I don't know if the guy was a PE or it was just a signature seal. I couldn't get it out of the case. As you can see, this room is just absolutely packed with all kinds of stuff. As I turn around, there's an old typewriter, telephone, tons of vintage items on the tabletop. Over in this corner, there's a drafting table and a plotter. As you can see, I'm looking at a couple calculators that are sitting on a shelf here. And again, more shelves full of books. Open the drawers of the drafting table, hoping to find maybe some templates or some other drafting equipment, mechanical pencils. I don't find any in the drawer. There was a very nice brush in there though. Making sure I look through all the shelves and all the drawers. There's another cabinet over here. Just trying to browse through the drawers, see if there's anything I can find inside. There's a very nice scale there. Make my way over to the desk and I'm looking through the drawers there, see if I can find anything of interest. Some kind of adding machine was under that book. And then there's some random things. As you saw, there was a box full of golf balls that seemed out of place. Then I look again. I come back into this closet and I go through it pretty thoroughly, and I find a pretty nice Parker pen holder in there that I add to my bag. And here again, just absolutely tons of books in shelves, and there were just some level of books in every room. Again, I'm looking through the cabinets, making sure I don't miss anything. Then I make my way across the hallway to the next room, and this is where I find a briefcase standing on the floor. I open it up, and as you can see, inside I find lots of drafting equipment. I take a quick look through it, make sure there's some things of value in there, deciding if I want to just pick pieces out of there or grab the whole bag. And pretty quickly I decide that there's enough value in there to make an offer. That calculator there, you'll see in a minute, it ends up being quite a rare item, and I wasn't even expecting that. I wasn't even looking at that. So I decide, yeah, there's enough value in this whole briefcase that I'm just gonna take it up to the front and make an offer on it all. So we make our way out to the sale. There's a gentleman taking cash at the door. He wants $5 for the briefcase and $15 for everything else I had, and that's it.
Hey, John here. Hey, and I wanted to get into this briefcase now, and I haven't looked inside other than the glance I took inside of the estate sale. Just got it home, as you saw it on the video. It had a lot of drafting supplies, the kind of stuff I really like to look for, templates, things of value. I'm gonna run through it really quickly, and as I'm doing it, well, I will show you exactly what things are selling for on eBay, and I'll get a running tally of what I think it's worth. Again, I paid $20 for everything I bought today. There was a bag of items, and then this lady just charged me $5 for, and you can see I'll get the value of it very quickly, probably within the first couple of items actually. So yeah, let's run through it real quick. The top is pretty heavy, so why don't I pull some of the templates out of here. Oh, we've got circle templates here, a couple different sizes, 3 of those. There's a very large French curve, not in very great shape. These adjustable triangles always do really well for me. Sold lots of those. Wow, there's more circle templates. Again, like I say, I'm opening this fresh. I'm just seeing this all for the first time myself. I don't know what these papers are. Oh, the guy was a draftsman, had a very nice handwriting. I saw that also on some of the plans he had in his cabinet. Make sure there's nothing interesting in here. Another piece of paper. I'll set this aside. Take a quick look in here, nothing there. We'll set that aside. Oh, there's a nice big round template. I'll probably lot all these together and sell them. This will probably have to toss. It's not in very good shape. Keep digging in here. There's more, some triangles. Another very large 30-60 triangle, 30-degree triangle, and a couple more French curves. Couple more items in here. A square template, another round one's got some goop on it. Don't know if I can do much with that. Another square template, and that actually does it for the top. And then we have a little pocket here. These are, I don't know if you've seen these before. I'll throw these cards aside, another little template. These are actually erasing shields. Erasing shields are what you use with these. I'll go ahead and pull this out now. It's an electric eraser that was in here, which is really great. These have pretty good resale value. People look for these today, and these are the shields you use. So when you're on you lay it over the piece of paper, so you make sure you're only erasing the part that you want to erase. So electric eraser and some erasing shields. Next thing we have, this is like a nice vintage pen. Probably is caked up and not worth a whole lot, but these would regularly be used by draftsmen. Kolinor repeatograph. These are actually erasers that go inside of this electric eraser. Set those aside. That's an empty bag. Here's another eraser. The different colors means the different intensity of what it erases, whether it's on vellum or mylar or something like that. Here's a very nice vintage ruler. I usually lot these together. They don't really sell very well individually, but I do tend to lot these together frequently. This is a nice piece right here. This is a bow compass. These are all adjustable, so you can make very large circles with these. You can see lead on one end, point on the other. I'll try and find a comp for it as well and put it up on the screen. Very nice. Just a general scale, nice plastic scale though. I don't see any particular name on it, but it's very nice. Maybe there. That's very nice. Here's an interesting X-Acto knife holder. I don't think I've seen one. It's kind of hard to get open too, but I don't think I've seen a handle like that one before. I've seen lots of X-Acto knife kits. Here's another chunk of erasers. Here is another box of erasers, a lot of erasers. I'll probably lot it together, the electric eraser and all the erasers, and sell it as a lot. Here's a calculator. I didn't know there was a calculator in there. So always look at the battery compartments for calculators to make sure that, oh, this is really clean, very nice. I'll have to look up this model. If it's first one up on the screen, I'll show you what it's worth. This is an old HP, oh, it's got memory in it too. So yeah, this is kind of a cool one. Like I said, I'll put a comp up on the screen. We'll see if it's worth what it's worth. Very nice. Next thing, wow, letter opener, not much there. Here is something more modern looking, marker, yeah. Not gonna do much with that. More erasers, so many erasers. Here's some vintage leads. Leads are always great when I find the mechanical pencils, and I just spotted one right here, I think, in this box. We'll get to that in a second. But all these vintage leads, this one's Faber-Castell, and I always either lock these up with the mechanical pencils or I sell them separately. They're very sellable. This is kind of goop, I'll throw it away. This is kind of a flexible eraser. Here's kind of a nice compass. I don't know if I've seen one like this with a kind of a ratcheting gear or something that spans such a big bow. This is very interesting looking. I'll have to do some research on this, and I'll put a comp up on the screen. It says it's made in Germany, which is great. But yeah, I'll try. This looks like there's some writing here. I'll have to clean that up a little bit, and I'll put a comp up on the screen for that. Very nice. Let's get this. This next is a bow compass attachment. Again, any compass, you can put this into one of the compass sites, and you mix a bow compass out of it. This is very nice. Again, these sell very well, actually. So it's another good item. If I find a comp for it, I'll put it up on the screen. A lot of little randomness down here. I'm not going to pull all this out and go through it. There's a neat little compass there. I save these, lock them all together. Here's another one of those pins. Very nice. I'll see if I can get these working or clean them out, and maybe I'll sell them. An old eraser, 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 eraser. If I've overlooked something, tell me. There's some more modern ink. There's an extension for this bow compass actually. So this thing can get very large, very large. So that adds to the value, of course. Now let's dig into this last case. If I can get this thing open. And I think, oh wow, here's some more pins. These are the holders for the pin tips. There's another template. Not sure what's in here. Oh wow. I've never seen leads come in a little box like this before. Those are very cool. These are leads for mechanical pencils also. There's another pin. Actually, I'm going to put these back over here. So all that's together. More erasers. These are the typical pink ones we use for regular lead. And then here is just the pen. So it's not a mechanical pencil. It'll need to be cleaned up a little bit. I'll check and see what it's worth, and I'll put a comp on the screen. This is dust, it'll easily come off. And this case is actually what these pins come in. So that's it. This is a $5 case, but I think I did really well. I'll probably make more than my money back. Yeah. Thanks for watching. It's the Eagle Eye Picker. Keep watching me for great content and BOLO, things to be on the lookout for. And we'll see you on the next video.